Okay, just look at the overview, what I'll be actually touching on today. Just a quick one. A short introductions to my company, Ace Capital, and then a disclaimer notice. And then we have a goal chart, a general overview. And then, of course, into the topics of Goal Outlook 2017. It will be divided into two parts, more onto the historical factors and prevailing factors of 2017. And of course, we have trading strategy, will be the technical analysis, and psychological, more to common sense. As for the technical analysis, all right, I'll touch on the fundamental and basic surface on it. I will not actually go in depth, just to make it more easy to understand. Okay. All right, Ace Capital actually established in the year of 2009. It's actually physical gold trading, used gold, and also new gold. We buy and sell. Okay. And we actually major in one of the industry is, just one moment, jewelry shops, pawn shop, and gold factories. And one of the most important is we are the current maker for Bursa FGLD. From here, right, I will actually try to strive for improvement and to ensure the market is liquidable. All right, this is the photo of the gold that we have been dealing in our company. It's nice, right? Yellow metals. Okay, I'm sure I'm not as good as Mr. David giving good presentation, but I try my very best, all right? Okay, next we have a disclaimer. Same as Mr. David's, it's only for educational and knowledge sharing purposes. Definitely not like trying to solicit you all to actually trade future goals. Okay, disclaimer for this. All right, let's start with the gold chart of 2017. First of all, as you can see that, sorry, I used this mark. First of all, you can see that this is purely on the January gold price till end of June. So you can see that the gold price in January 2017 actually was quite low, and also actually opportunity stage to actually to buy, and it actually peaked to the highest of 1,295 around that area. Okay, did you all know, see anything from this chart, some hints from this chart? Actually, it's more towards here. This chart actually is providing a very strong resistance hint. It cannot break 1,000 above 1,000 USD. So actually, this actually created opportunity to some of the speculators to actually sell at this level, and then they put a stop loss at 1,300. Okay, this is just a general view for the gold chart of 2017, and I also have a gold chart for the past 20 years. So I'll give you a broader view about how's the gold been moving in the past 20 years. Let's start with the earlier of the year of 1996 to around 2001. The gold actually quite stagnant during that stage. Only when it started to move up in the year of 2002. But before that, just let me do a quick explanation that there was a crash in 2000, a dot-com crash. And then after that, we have this 2007, we have this subprime mortgage crash. And then in 2008, we have this banking sector crash in US. And as a result, the gold price actually surged all the way up to 1,920. That was almost the peak for this. And what was the main reason for such a spike to the highest? Not just because of the crash itself, but because of the introductions from the Federal Reserve. They introduced this quantitative easing 1, 2, 3 in between 2010 to 2013. And also the Federal Reserve actually, they reduced the interest rate from about 4% to around 0% to around 0.25%. This was one of the reasons the gold actually moved up to the highest. One thing to actually take note that during 2013, right, there was a big correction in gold price, which actually fall from 1,700 plus to around 1,180. This is caused by the correction due to the improvement in this so-called US economy. When I say US economy, why? Okay, you see, the Federal Reserve, they pump in a lot of money into this US economy in order to spur the, how to say, the development of the company to continue to invest. And actually, the data show that there was this, I'm sorry, there was this improvement in data, for example, like employment. Employment actually increased, and also all the factors into considerations. But one thing to actually let you all know that in the year of 2015, there was this started beginning the raise of interest rates. As a result, the gold price dipped to around 1,045. That was the lowest during that time. And then it actually rebounded. Okay, this is just a general broader view of the gold chart for the past 20 years. Okay, let me move on to the next one, will be the historical factors. This is more onto the gold outlooks of 2017. The first will be the historical factors, is the elections, but definitely not the US election. It's the, just one minute, it's the it's the Europe elections. So what does it have to do with the gold? What kind of implication and factors? Actually, what we can say is more about the investor, about the fear and uncertainty, because some of the opposition party from certain of the European countries, such as Netherlands, Germany and France, they were all having elections, okay? Some of the Euro-skeptical party actually have a different government policy which might affect the Europe as a whole. Let me give you an example for that. French elections. One of the lady called Marine Le Pen actually is a right-wing politician. She actually pledged to have a Frexit vote, which means to actually exit from France. This is actually quite serious. To some of the investors, this could destroy the Europe. But unfortunately, she didn't win, so everything actually calmed down. But during that time, this ongoing election actually had boosted the gold, the demand for gold, in order to hedge against uncertainty in case if the euro crash, because if really there was a Frexit, some other country might follow on. For example, Greece might follow the path of this Frexit as well. So this is one of the factors to consider. Okay, let's move on to the next one. It's the US political situation. Actually, it's a bit funny. I would say it's more related to Trump's political situation. First, we have this Donald Trump National Security Advisor, Michael Flynn, resigned from his role over the issue with Russia because suspected of this conspiracy theory. What he actually did was contact with these Russian hackers in order to get the email contents of Hillary Clinton, and also spreading fake news regarding about this Hillary Clinton is a child trafficker. Something like dirty politics. Okay. All right, next, we have this FBI Director, James Comey, actually confirming that there was investigations into this Russia interference into this US election in 2016. Other than that, they also suspected that there was a link between Donald Trump campaign with this Moscow. Actually, this has actually given a perception to the investor about the reliability and credibility of the US government for this Trump, during this Trump campaign. And one of the most serious one would be next one, this one, firing of FBI Director James Comey. I'm not sure if you all still actually remember in the year of 1972 to 1974, there was an ex-president, US ex-president by the name of Richard Nixon. Okay, almost same situation. Okay, first it's about the Watergate scandal, something like related to this Russia scandal, Michael Flynn. Second is this ex-president Richard Nixon actually was impeached because of trying to keep hold of the tape, the evidence. Okay, and also related, almost near to this same similarity of issue. And finally, he actually fired one of the judge during that time, leads to impeachment, which means he actually have to leave the office. But before he left the office, of course, he resigned. So this is, the investor actually worried this case actually would relate, which means Donald Trump would be impeached because of obstruction of justice. This actually gives the investor perception the US economy might not be doing well because it's everything related to US economy. When you relate to US economy, it's related to gold, as mentioned by Mr. David. Gold is dollar denominated. So that's the reason why it affects the gold movement, one of the historical factors for this 2017. And one more would be the repealing of Obamacare. It's just a health care. I mean, it's passed through the Congress, but what does it have to do with gold as well? The reason was actually also to the investor as well. They think that Obamacare could not actually repel. How about others infrastructure spending from Donald Trump policy, tax reform? All those might have doubt to the investor that it cannot pass through the Congress. So eventually, it's all about the whole economics for the US. Okay, this is one of the factors. And during that time, this actually boosted the gold, actually given some like safe haven, because some of the investors, they worry about the future of the US economy, whether there will possible another crash or not based on this. Okay, next will be on the geopolitical tension, as already mentioned by Mr. David just now. It's all about the North Korea. But during in the earliest of the months, there was also this missile strike to this Syria. Receive a condemnations from Russia actually, and also one of the US political person went to Russia, received a hostile receptions. So actually this created a tense and also opportunity for some of the speculators to actually go